A lady had sex with a lawyer and wants to steal him because she just found out that he is a driver and not a lawyer. This is the story, and I'm going to tell you what the law says about this. I met a guy in town and he asked me for my number. He looked decent and moneyed, so I gave him my number. He told me he was a lawyer visiting his parents in Accra. We met the same night and slept at his childhood friend's place because he could not take me to his granny's place. I asked why a lawyer was driving Picanto, and he told me his parents' neighbors were talkers. That's why he couldn't bring his Mercedes-Benz. He didn't even spend the whole night because he had a family meeting the next morning. We kept in touch after he went back to where he lives. I did a background check on him and found out that he works as a driver and that the car he was driving, that is the Picanto, belongs to his boss. First question, why did you do a background check on him? But let's ignore that. Now she's asking this, can I arrest him for rape because he slept with me under false pretense? What's your take on this? We are going to see what the law says about this, but far away from what the law says, I feel she deserves it since she's in for material stuff. I have one problem. Why did you ask him why he's driving a Picanto as a lawyer? Well, you could have also asked why he's sending you to his friend's place instead of a guest house, because I know in Ghana, a guest house for just 2 hours or hourly rate should not cost more than 100 cedis. I had one for 80 cedis at La Paz JCL guest house. He even sent me with free breakfast. Thanks for the treat. I'm going to tag them in the caption for that. Now, what is 80 or 100 cedis that he could not afford? Now, far away from that, this is what the law has to say. According to the law, rape is when you have sexual intercourse with a lady without her consent. But it's very important to understand that consent in Ghana has its own laws. Hence, when it comes to issues regarding the determination of whether or not a person consented, Section 14 of Act 29 is applicable. Let's see what it said in the subsection B. It says that a consent is void if it is obtained by deceit. I'm going to explain this, you are going to understand me, but let's see what it said in the F. A consent shall be deemed to have been obtained by deceit if it would have been refused but for the deceit. Now, all the law is saying here is that consent obtained by lies or fraud is invalid, and that if naturally I wouldn't have given my consent or I wouldn't have agreed to your offer, but then because of what you said or because of the lies you brought in, I agreed or gave in my consent, then it means that this type of consent is invalid and is not recognized by the laws of Ghana. Example, for you to get me to open my legs for you, you come in to tell me that you own a restaurant, blah blah blah, you have this amount of money because you know my love language is food and money. And now because I like money and love food, I couldn't resist and had to do the act with you. Now the law is saying that this type of consent or this type of agreement is invalid because as at the time of consenting, I wasn't a master of my mind. She wasn't also having full control of her mind since you deceived her. Now, assuming you are the guy, if she's to bring an action against you, she's definitely going to win because according to the law, there wasn't consent as at the time of having sexual intercourse with her. She wasn't in control of her mind. And do not forget this, sex without consent is rape. Therefore, you'd be guilty or you'd be liable for rape. Now, this goes beyond this case. It applies to any case. If the person approaches you for marriage, you end up marrying the person and find out that all the properties he claims he has was a lie, you can sue him. Everything that happens in Ghana, there is a law. Hence, I would always advise that you go in for legal counsel, or better still, get a law student that can do such to find out whether or not your actions are within the law before you take a step. Don't forget to follow me for more legal tips, and you can share stories with me on my Instagram. I'll respond to them. Till we meet again, stay safe.